As an anchoring, I wanted you to just think about for a second this point that I brought up earlier about the ability to be just as loving towards somebody when they're agreeing with you or when they're disagreeing with you. So what does it really mean to feel loving toward another person, to actually feel like you care about that person? So just look around the room right now and let yourself feel that you care about that person, okay? That's your anchor. Right? Now, the more we practice feeling that way, then when we start to encounter disagreement, it's a lot easier for us to maintain that. You can't have networking if you're not anchored in love. Okay? And so that's a discipline that grows like a muscle as we practice just anchoring into that. Right? Whether someone agrees with us or disagrees with us, we're going to let go of their argument enough to stay loving. That's our practice. It's not as easy to do, right? But it's our practice. Okay, so the networking system works like this. I call it pyramid networking. And it is an organic process. And it takes the guesswork out of success. Now, it's based on the principle that you can accomplish more with people than you can without them. You can accomplish more with people than you can against them. Right? Because if you want to, here we are together. I could call you. You could call me up and say, "Do you know anybody who's interested in marketing or branding?" I might know someone. Okay, now because we have a relationship, right? That has helped you. When you have a positive, healthy relationship with another person, that person is for you. You can call that person up for a favor. You can ask that person advice. You have a team. You have, and it's like if I was rowing a boat alone and you were all rowing in unison, right? You would get, and we're going the same direction, you'd get there faster. But if you were all arguing and everyone trying to row against each other, I could win alone, right? So you can accomplish more with people than you can without them or against them. But sometimes you have to let go of people who are in a dysfunctional mode with you, who are not for you. And it doesn't mean that they hold a personal grudge, but for whatever it is, that they are in some way at odds with you. And you'll find you never have to push those people away. You just have to let them go, not spend a whole lot of time with them in your head. Because whoever you spend time with in your head, you're bringing into your life. Right? So you just sort of let it go. You're aware of what they're about, but you don't keep thinking about them, worrying about them, talking about them, thinking about them. Now, wherever we are in life, we are at the bottom relative to someone else. Like, for instance, if, like, there is, let's say, Oprah. We could put Oprah on the top as a person of influence that could help us. Or if we want to make Donald Trump, or okay, or anybody, or a president, a king, the head of a CEO of a major corporation. It's real difficult for us to connect with them. It's not easy. In fact, the higher you try to go to make a connection, the more gravity works against you. This is organic. This is natural. It's a natural force. If you just try to climb the ladder of success, you ain't going to get there. You gotta follow the pyramid of success. The ladder of success, you're facing against the toughest resistance. And the higher you go, the thinner the air gets to where you can't even breathe. So, what we do know, though, is that it's pretty easy. You can pretty much connect with people on or about your level, whatever it is. Right? So if we are, let's say we all want to play tennis, it's a lot easier for us to connect with people who are on our level playing tennis than to make an appointment with the greatest tennis player in the world. Right? And so what you want to do on this level, and here's where networking comes in, is you want to build as many harmonious, meaningful relationships as you can on this level, which basically means every encounter you have with another human being is an opportunity for a healthy relationship. Now let me define what a healthy relationship is. A healthy relationship is based on these three qualities. Love, peace, and joy. Why do we say that? Because the human body is not designed for anger, stress, and unhappiness. If you have a health problem and you go into anger, stress, and unhappiness, are you going to get healthier or sicker? Sicker. That's right. And if you have a health problem and we can help you to feel loved and at peace and enjoy the moment, it's going to have a replenishing effect on your body. This is the definition of health. When you are functioning in this mode, you are functioning in a healthy way. When you are relating with another person in this mode, you are in a healthy relationship. When you slip out of this mode into anger and stress and unhappiness, you have just started an unhealthy relationship. And remember, unhealthy relationships are like the relationships where everyone's fighting against each other. They will hold you back. You have to let go of unhealthy relationships. Most people cling to unhealthy relationships. They try to change the other person with anger and stress and frustration. They try to control the other person and change the other person and manipulate them. They hold on to those relationships. That's the one I got to fix. Instead of just letting it go. If you can't get along with someone here, they're not for you. You just let them go. You just let them go. I'm not saying run away from them, push away from them, but this means you're being true to yourself because you're being true to your body. Anything you do that vivifies your love, peace, and joy is good for you. That's how I know I'm a writer. That's how I know I'm a public speaker, because I come to life when I'm starting to speak. And I'm coming to life at a much more level than when I'm sitting down or having dinner even with my family. Now I am totally alive. I got more burners going than I normally do. That's how I know this is right for me, because it's giving me life. So, as you form healthy relationships with people on your level, every now and then, because there are people of higher influence who can help you, right? So every now and then, for example, right now on the Atlanta Public Schools television network, so I would like to be on have my own national show on NBC TV, okay? So I might call up NBC TV Central, knock on the door, and say, I'd like to do a show for you. They'll give me the whole procedure of how you propose it. It would take me 20 years. I send it off. I get rejected. But what you do is, there's nothing wrong with knocking on the door of the ceiling. This is the door of the ceiling. You make an effort. It's like if you go to let's say you go to a networking group and everybody seems to know each other and they're all hanging around, and you're new and you don't know anyone, and you enter the room and no one's really looking at you or treating you as if you exist. It's really hard. And maybe you stand next to them and they ignore you. And then all of a sudden you notice in the back corner there's another person who's also alone. And you go over to this person and you find out this person is not one of the movers and shakers that you wish you were with. It's maybe the wife or the husband of one of the movers and shakers, who's on antidepressants, right? And all alone. And so you find I can't connect with her. And we can talk and have a chat. And as we start chatting and having a healthy relationship, we both get more energized. And we attract someone to come over to us. Or together, we go over and make a headway into another group. So you knock on the door, and it's a numbers game. Eventually, what happens if you keep on working on maintaining healthy relationships and letting unhealthy ones go, you've achieved enough relationships where a door opens up. And now you find yourself up here. And now you're interacting with people more successful than those people relative to whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. Right? I'm a writer, so it's real easy for me right now to go into a writers group in Atlanta and be a member or a star member. I have so many books out. But if I try to go into one of the elite writers groups in Manhattan, I might have to be on a waiting list for 10 years. But the beauty of this is that each time you fulfill a level, your journey gets shorter to get to the next level. The higher you go, the faster you fly. Right? The higher you go, the faster you fly, the less resistance you have to contend with. And so doors open up and doors open up and doors open. And that is the natural process of how to team build, networking-wise, to get to, and the top is really endless, because once you meet Oprah, you'll find out who's in charge of her.